It's 2018. A new era is beginning. Okay, maybe it's not a new era, but welcome to the new tour of our very new and possibly the best version ever of our projector. There are many things that have changed and improved. The overall look, as you can probably see, is still very similar. We do have a new splash screen. It shows our current line of OPUS devices. It shows the new name. It is now the OPUS Projektor because it is for OPUS devices. And we're introducing a completely new versioning system. So this is the OPUS Projektor 2018. So welcome to this new tour. There is a lot to do, but oh, what do I see down here? Well, this is already the first thing. One update found. With this version, we are introducing online updates. Let's see how this works. We are clicking here, and we will see that there is an update for the online manual, which will increase the version at the last digit. So let's continue. Now it's downloading the content, so basically the online manual. And what I can tell you, this is all a very, very safe process. So first of all, of course, we will do our very best to test and check and double check everything so that when we release something with the online update, it will surely improve the behavior or it will be a great new feature that we are rolling out. So what we see here comes a little bit from NetBeans, which is the base for the OPUS Projektor. So our updates are behind this category. They are self-signed, which means that they are not signed by NetBeans, which is not something we can do, but they're not unsigned either. And this is the second security thing I can tell you about. Only we in our company are able to sign updates for the OPUS Projektor. So you will never ever have the risk of getting an update that is not coming from us. So we see two objects here, the online manual and the module updates, which is just a generic object that controls the whole update process. So we will continue, and that's it already for the installation. Now we just have to restart, which we will do right now. The projects are all saved, so I can discard them. And now you will soon see the new splash screen of the OPUS Projektor tool in all its glory. And soon it will be ready. So this is a great new feature. If there is ever a bug, if we find a problem, we can roll out an update immediately. You will be notified when you start the projector, or if you don't want to be notified that often. Let's see if we can do that while the projects are opening. If you go to Tools and Plugins, you see here our installed modules. The module updates is basically the center of our updates. As you can see, it is now in version 2018-3.02. And in the settings, you can set up how often you want to check for updates. So our recommendation is to leave it at every startup, but you can do that as you want. Okay, so let's go to the next great new thing. When I create a new project, you can already see it here. We have a new category called sample projects. This is something that will, of course, expand over time. We will add new projects with new versions coming. And it is a nice new way to just have something in your hand just when you start with a new project. You don't have to start with an all empty project. So I'll choose the clock project here, and this is basically the same. I will choose the OPUS A6 G2 Echo, and I will create the project. Okay, the project is being created and now it is here. Let's open it up. You can see it is not absolutely perfect in some places. This will bring me to another great topic, the topic of project conversion, but we will come to that in a couple of seconds. Of course, now you will want to ask, will I also be able to create my own sample projects? And the answer, of course, is yes. Let's say you have modified or created a project and you want to use that as your new sample project. What you can do is you click on File, Create Sample, and you can use one of the existing custom project slots. You can give it a name, standard project, whatever. You can give it an optional description, and then you can create your custom sample project, which will be available then in this dialog. So this is very great if you want to have like some standard projects that you will always want to use as a beginning for new projects, or just to show customers some standard functionalities. So, as you can imagine, we didn't sit down and create 8 or 16 sample projects from all the sample projects that we are offering. So something must have happened. And what happened was that we created a new and better conversion algorithm. Let me show it to you quickly. I will select this clock project. And now, no, first I want to save it. Not that I did much, but anyway. I want to convert the project. And this is our new conversion dialog. First of all, I don't know if you have worked with the conversion before, but it was a little bit clunky. You had to do it in 2 steps and it was not so good. So now it is much better. You choose the new target device. So let's say I will use the A3 standard. I can choose how the project content should be scaled. Let's say I go through the A8, then I can scale it without any scaling, so it will just be the size of the A6G2. I can use the target aspect ratio from the target device, or I can increase the size but keep the aspect ratio from the old device. I will still go with the A3. The without scale is not offered because then all content would be bigger than the device itself. I will use target aspect ratio, and I will take the offer of auto setting the soft keys. I will also use font scaling, and let's go to the next step. So this is the next nice thing. It will now go through all the pages of the project, and it will ask me where it should put the soft keys that were in the old project. So in the project, you can see it a little bit here. In the home page, we only had 2 soft keys. And if I don't like where it puts them, I can move it around, but I'm fine as they are. And I go to the next page. There was only 1 soft key, so nothing much to do here, but you can set this up as you want. If you don't want a soft key at all, you can just keep it in the frame from the source project, and they will not be included in the converted project. So now I click convert, and the projector will work a little bit, and hopefully, no, it's not finished yet. There it is. And now it has converted the project. As you can see, once again, it is not absolutely perfect, but this is next to impossible. We are working on this, of course, to improve the algorithm, but as you can see, you have a base that you can work with. The soft keys are all working, and with some little adjustments, you will have a nicely working project very quickly. Okay, let's create a new page for the next topic. One little thing you might see here, there's already a frame created when you create a new page. Just a little thing. It should have been done years ago, but now it's finally there, and you don't have to create a frame whenever you want to create a new page. So the next big thing is hiding on the right here. If you turn your head to the right, you can read it, symbol library. Let's click on it. First of all, you will see nothing, but down here you can see that it's preparing over 2,400 ISO symbols that will be ready to use within your project at all times. So I will just browse through these very quickly. As you can see, there are very many symbols from all categories. If you want to search for something specific, no problem. You are looking for a battery symbol. Oh, very nice. We can choose this one, drag and drop it here. And it even offers me, depending on where I drop it, if I want to create a picture graphic object, or if I want to use it as the background, for example, for the frame. This will of course stretch the image, but it's no problem. The images are all SVG, scalable vector graphics. So there will never be any ugly effects on the images. Let's remove this because it doesn't look so good. So let's go ahead again and just add it as a picture graphic, and now we have a nice picture graphic with a battery. Let's open this up again. You can change the size of the standard size that the objects will be created in. Here it's now 100. I can change that to 75. Add the picture graphic, and as you can see, it has created it in a smaller size. But it doesn't matter how big you make it, it will always look sharp and crisp because it scales endlessly. So no matter how big the devices get that we will sell you, these images will always look perfect. So let's remove this big one. Let's say you are finding some symbols that you will that you like and that you want to use in several projects. What you can do here is you add them to your favorites. Let's add a few other ones, just like that, and they will always be there. Let's say I close the project, close the projector, open it up again. These favorites will be saved. So this is not just in this project. This is tool-wide, so to say. So you can have your little personal library of symbols that you want to use. And another thing, you know it often from cars, you have these symbols, they are like turned off now, and let's say the battery runs low or is not charged anymore, then you want it to glow red. So what you can do, let's drag and drop this again, and now we are offered here to add more picture graphics into a list object. So we can have 2, 3, or 4 with these colors. If you don't like these colors, of course you can change them right here. Click on any of these colors, and I don't know, let's use a pink. You can change them just the way you like. So for now, let's use one with 2, and it creates this list object. Let's change the preview value, and there we have the pink one. Now let's say you've created this and you're not really happy with it because, well, the pink is a little bit glowy and maybe not perfect. There is a new property for these kinds of images called SVG blend color. And you can just easily choose another color and then it will look like this. Very easy, very straightforward. You've already seen here that in the project tree there is now a little bit going on. It will basically show you, for example, new objects that are created, for example, the list and the picture graphic. Or if I take the picture graphic here and I move it, then the X and Y location are highlighted, or if I change the size, the same happens as well. So it shows me a little bit of a history, which objects have been touched. If I save the project, this will all go away, because then it is part of the actual project. Okay, so for the next new and great feature, I've prepared a project that I will just start in the simulation. So these are our objects, the way they look, well, except for the picture graphic, the way they looked for years. And my guess is that you've probably changed each and every visual aspect of these objects whenever you created a new project. And maybe you still want to do that, but we have offered you, or we are offering you, two completely new object themes. Stylish, nice objects that go very well together. We have a modern dark on the left side, and we have a modern bright on the right side. One thing that you might also see, the string fields and also the numeric fields now have rounded corners. These are, of course, maybe we will go into it. These are, of course, changeable. So there is now, let's find it, a corner radius, which you can set to 0 if you don't like that at all. Or if you want really rounded corners, you can set it to a very high value. Then in the end, you will get almost like a circle. You can change the theme template of an object during creation. So there's also here a new property theme template. So if I go from modern dark to modern bright, it will change it to the modern bright type. And if I go classic, it will be the old look from the earlier projector tools. Let's put this back. When I create a new object, it will of course be in a certain theme, and I can set this theme up here in this default theme setting. So let's say you do love the classic objects, just choose the classic theme as a default, and every new object that you will create will have the classic look. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, well, what if I want to change certain aspects of these themes, or can I just create my own? Of course you can. Let's go into the tools and options, and then we go into not appearance but scene, and then we go to the tab object themes. It takes a little while because there is a lot to load, and here we are. So here's a list of all the visual objects in a theme. If I switch to modern bright, everything will have the modern bright look, and the same with modern dark. Now let's say the modern bright theme is fine, but this gray frame, it's not really my thing. So what I can do is I can duplicate this theme right here. It will create a new theme. I can name it my personal modern bright, whatever. And then I can go ahead and change all these relevant properties. So maybe I want to have the frame in white, then I can just do that. Or maybe I don't want these rounded corners, or maybe they should be even rounder. I can increase the corner radius. And this way you can, of course, create your completely own set of objects that will look perfect right from the start, and you can create new projects much easier. Okay, so for the next big thing, I have yet another project. This is actually from a trade show project. So what do we see here? We have an all new object, the gauge object, which is the next or the next to next level of the meter object that you know. This object comes preset in 360 degrees, 270, 180 or 90 degrees. And as you can see, it combines the old meter object, including some values at the ticks, and including a great digital value that represents the value of the object. And the whole object is very, very, very much customizable. So let's say you don't want the ticks, then you turn them off, or you don't want the minor ticks, or you don't like the digital value, or the values at all. No problem, you can turn everything off. But of course you don't want that because it is very great. You want more ticks. Now, as you can see, between 0 and the preset 4000 here, it will calculate all the tick values in between. Min and max are always the same, and the values in between are calculated at runtime. This is a P-client simulation, so you can do that actually on your device. You can move them further into the middle or a little more into the back. Same with the values, you can make these bigger, smaller. You can make the boundary of the min, the normal and the min and the max region bigger. Of course, you can go all the way to the middle. This way, when you change the minimum value or the maximum value, you can see the effect very nicely. You can get rid of all the minor ticks, or if you want even more, you can do so many. You will be happy. You can make the change the position of the digital value, and you can also, of course, change the deflection direction. So now it is going from here to here instead of from here to here. Everything at runtime. Let's make or maybe we just click the reset button. Of course, you can also change the background color. So this object is really customizable, so much like no other object that we have done before. These are not even all the options that you have. There's even more that you can do. So this is a perfect, great new object, which you will hopefully like very much. So let's go back to this project. Let's do this one again. Now, I've already talked about the object themes, and while we were at it and did these themes, we thought, why not create a couple of more objects? So we went ahead and created our lamps and switches. So what do we have? We have a lamp object, we have a power switch, a push button, and a rocker switch. All of these 4 objects, of course, go in modern bright and modern dark. They also go in classic, but then they look really ugly, just like the classic theme does. These images are also scalable vector graphics. So if you want a lamp like this over the whole screen, no problem. It will look strange, but it will still be sharp and crisp. And the objects are basically button objects. So this is why you can activate them, click on them, and use them just like buttons, or just as an indication. Is of course also possible. So these are the main new features of the OPUS Projektor 2018. I hope you liked it, and I hope you will enjoy the new version once it will be released. Let us know what you think about it.